Senator Harry Reid, who many contend is a, quote, friend of Bernie Sanders, had some really unkind words to say about Bernie Sanders. So when asked whether Bernie Sanders should remain in the race until the convention, he said that while Bernie Sanders has the right to remain in the race, no, I don't think he should. I don't know what that's going to prove. Sometimes you just have to give up. I've lost before. The numbers aren't there. And he also said that Bernie Sanders needs to realize that math is math. Now, he also said, I've never been too good at math, but I can figure that one out. I think he better do a little mathing, but I don't think I'm the one to deliver that message. If he calls and asks me, I'll be happy to, but I'm not going to go chasing him around to tell him what math is. Bernie Sanders is not stupid, neither are his supporters, so you don't actually have to talk down to us like we're children and be condescending. We know it's the case that Hillary Clinton does have a very large pledge delegate lead. But here's one thing you're not considering that you forgot about. The facts. I think that Harry Reid needs to do a little bit of facting. See, I can make up words too. So, in fact, you know what? I don't think you can do that. I'm going to do it for you because you've been very ignorant of the facts. So, when you say that Bernie Sanders should drop out of the race before the convention, when Hillary Clinton is currently undergoing a criminal investigation of the FBI, not only is that morally unethical, it's just downright negligent. Because since the beginning of the race, we have been hit over the heads with this electability argument saying that Bernie Sanders is not electable when it comes to any Republican, so we should vote for Hillary Clinton because of that. And now you have someone who could potentially save the party if she is indicted, and you're saying he should drop out? Look, here's the deal. Let's get to the facts. Something that Harry Reid doesn't want to consider. So when it comes to Hillary Clinton, she's being investigated on two different fronts. One is for her use of a private email server, and another is for the role the Clinton Foundation played while she was Secretary of State. Now, based on the evidence we have thus far, it does appear as though FBI Director James Comey will recommend an indictment. So here are the facts. Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server was not authorized and violated the Federal Records Act, according to an audit conducted by the State Department's Inspector General. We also know that Hillary Clinton threatened national security by refusing to notify security officials after there were multiple attempts to hack her private email server. Now, we know that there was top secret information, that is the highest level of classification, that she generated and sent out on her unsecured private email server, thus threatening national security. She also posted the names to hidden intelligence officials on her unsecured email, potentially blowing their covers. And furthermore, when it comes to the other aspect of her investigation, the Clinton Foundation failed to disclose 1,100 donations, according to Bloomberg, maybe because these donations correlate with State Department deals that she doesn't want us to know about. And also, the IT guy who set up her personal email server is now pleading the fifth. Those are the facts, Harry Reid. Do some facting. With all of those facts, you'd be ignorant to say that there's not even a small chance that Hillary Clinton will be indicted or that FBI Director James Comey will recommend an indictment. But even though there may be just a small chance that she's going to be indicted, you should never suggest that Bernie Sanders should drop out, because he's what's going to save the Democratic Party if Hillary Clinton is indicted. Because if you are indicted, or even if a recommendation by the FBI is handed down that she should be indicted, that's devastating. That's absolutely devastating. So even if President Obama pardons her or the Justice Department refuses to actually charge her with anything, you don't want someone going up against Trump, a maniac who will be accused of being a criminal in a general election. That's not smart. And furthermore, if you really want to talk about mathing, Harry Reid, let's do that. Bernie Sanders has consistently outperformed Hillary Clinton when it comes to general election matchups since the beginning of the election. And you want us to not only put up a candidate as the Democratic nominee who could be indicted, but who actually polls worse than Donald Trump in some polls? That's just reckless. You're just being reckless. So you can pretend to care about the math, but in actuality, you don't give a damn about the math. The only math you care about is the math that's going to affect you, because Harry Reid is by the establishment for the establishment. Harry Reid is a multimillionaire worth $10 million. You see, he doesn't want Bernie Sanders to get in office because presumably he doesn't want Bernie Sanders to raise his taxes, because Bernie Sanders will raise the marginal tax rate for people who make more than $10 million. So when Harry Reid gets out and is hired as a lobbyist and starts making the big bucks, see, he doesn't like the idea of higher taxes from Bernie Sanders. So Harry Reid is fighting against Bernie Sanders tooth and nail because it serves his own self-interests. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump could become president. He knows that Donald Trump will give him a tax break. So in his eyes, Donald Trump is probably preferable to Bernie Sanders regardless of his insane foreign policy ideas, regardless of the literal fascist policies he's proposing, such as implementing a Muslim ID system. So make no mistake, Harry Reid is looking out for numero uno and is pretending to care about the math. But here's the thing about Harry Reid. He's going to be retiring soon. So you think Bernie Sanders should drop out early? I think you should drop out early, okay? 2017 can't come early enough, Harry, because you have done nothing. I don't see why you don't just drop out. Just quit right now, because you're not doing anything. You're not fighting for anyone. You're just fighting for your rich donors. Just drop out now. We don't need you, Harry. You're not doing anything for us at all. I'm glad that you're retiring, because you have done nothing but perpetuate the Democratic establishment's status quo and help them to fight for their big corporate donors. You should be ashamed of yourself, Harry Reid. Good riddance. I'm glad that you're retiring.